Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to add materials to this model. Now to start I will set up the lighting, so open the shader editor, switch to world, search for a black body node and set it to something like 6500 just to get a nice natural light. Now I will lower the strength a little so it's not too bright and change the render engine to cycle so we can get more realistic results. Now head to color management and set the view transform to filmic and change the contrast to make the lighting a bit stronger. Add area lights and adjust the power until you get something that looks good. Alright, now back to object, add a new material, and for this part I want to import a texture, and now to get the texture go to a website like Polyhaven. That's where you can get free textures. I used this leather texture. I will leave the link in the description. So now coming back to Blender, using the principled shader, press Ctrl+Shift+T to import the texture and press A to select all textures, and for this one I'm using a leather material. The good thing is that Blender is going to set up this texture by itself. You can change the color. I will use a color ramp for that. Right now you should see the texture on the model, but clearly it's not showing up, and the reason for that is the UV information does not exist. So if you open up the UV editor, I want to put a cut over here, so clicking on the edge right there, holding down Alt as you click, that will select the whole edge loop. Then you press Ctrl+E, then click Mark Seam. Now when you do that, you can see that it's now red, so that means it's got a seam there. So I'm gonna put another seam right there by pressing Ctrl+E and Mark Seam. Now select your entire mesh and press U on wrap. Now back to shader editor. In the mapping node, you can adjust the scale to around 6. You can also adjust the scale here in the displacement node. Now I want to assign different material to the inner part, so I will select these inner faces and take your time selecting these faces. And once you're done, add a new slot, click new material and assign it. And for this material, I will just change the color in the principled shader. Next, I will add a material to the stitches, and since the stitches were created using geometry nodes, so we need to assign the material in the geometry node. So add a new material. I will name it stitches, and in the geometry node, set material node and select stitches, and back to the shader editor you can change the color. Now I want to add the same leather texture to this part. So I will do the same process, mark seam to unwrap, go to the UV editor and unwrap. By pressing Ctrl+L, link materials. Now if you want to change it separately, just duplicate the material. Now for this last part, I will just keep it simple and use a solid color. Alright, now this part over here shouldn't have a leather texture, so I will add a new material slot. And for that I will import a fabric material instead of a leather texture. So press Ctrl+Shift+T and select all texture files. Last thing, I will change the scale and the color.